What's up, y'all? We back. It is the First Amendment. This is the news show, man. And hit the like, subscribe to the page, do whatever you could possibly do. Listen, man, you know what we talk about today. We had to roll it out. I had to talk about it. First off, I had to read it. That's the first thing I had to do. I had to actually read it. It's a very big proposal. And it's called the Green New Deal. You know what I mean? And I I see a lot of people have the wrong understanding of this bill. This bill. A lot of people trying to put this bill under socialism. Well, of course, the Republicans is going to try to put this bill underneath socialism. Now, do let's break this down thing by thing real quick. Do I agree with the bill? Ah, ah. Do I agree with the bill? Do I actually agree with it? I don't know. I don't know. It's a reason why I understand that this bill points out our issues with carbon. I understand that this bill points out our issue with environment, our environmental issue. And this is why, I'm a science guy. I love this bill because it points out environmental issue. I like this bill because it points out a lot of our road issues, like in California. See, a lot of times people can speak of certain things, but they don't live in certain places of the world. So in California, traffic jams is crazy out there. In certain parts of the world, the traffic jams is crazy. And with high speed trains, you can get certain places faster than you could possibly get other places. You know what I mean? The benefit of being able to work in Detroit and live in Philadelphia is now available now. So that's why a lot of things on this bill, I'm actually for. You know what I mean? I think it'll help big businesses. I think it'll help local people become more of a what word is I'm looking for? I'm looking for a specific word, but I don't know what I'm really looking for. But yeah, I think it'll help a lot of local people out, especially I think it'll help African Americans. Now I know that when I just said it would help African Americans, I'm going to get slaughtered for this because a lot of people that I've been watching a whole lot of podcasts about this for the last week or so, and I didn't make a podcast about the Green Deal. I was actually kind of sick, so I was just sitting back and just collecting data and looking at what everybody was saying. It kind of like I looked at the Donald Trump thing and I was kind of just like reading through the files and just trying to feel like where do I actually sit at on this actual bill. So just by me doing that and just understanding that, all right, this is my position on the bill, and then I look at everybody else's position on the bill, and I agree with everybody on the money standpoint. I feel as though that the money is way out of point. But before I go there, let me go on. How do I think that this bill is going to help African Americans and also hurt African Americans? Now, a lot of African Americans say that, oh, this bill don't have black written in it nowhere. Of course, no bill in 2020 is going to have black written in the bill. Of course, that's not going to happen. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the news. We had our chance in 2016 when they asked for reparations, and none of us signed the paperwork. None of us was on their ass. We had no Congress people to back that bill. We had nobody to. So when you look at the Green Deal and you don't see nothing point out for African Americans because it's not an African American bill. You know what I mean? This is a bill. It actually, when I say this to people, and people gonna see this on YouTube, they're gonna say, "Is this guy retarded or something? Is this guy?" I should not. I'm sorry. Is this guy slow? Let me not say that. I apologize. I take that back all the way. You know what I mean? But honestly though, I have dyslexic, so that's what people say a lot. They call me retarded, and I mean that's not cool. But that's what people say. So that is the harsh joke about that. So that's what people say, and I know, oh man, you're not supposed to say that, but hey, I can say it because I have the issue, and that's what people say about me. So, you know what I mean? That's what people say about jokes or whatever. But anyway, yeah, when people see this and they see that whole situation and me saying that this bill don't point out nothing for African Americans. Now the reason why they say, Isaiah, you are being crazy. Why are you thinking that? It's because this bill is actually about emissions. So when you have African Americans saying that it's nothing in this bill to help African Americans, it's kind of like you don't understand what's going on. And I hear a lot of people say that. It's just I know one person believe I'm probably coming at them, but I hear a lot of people say that. You know what I mean? And that's why I just want to be like I want to kind of make people understand. Really know exactly what you're reading before you actually read it. Read it 100 times before you actually get on a platform and tell somebody about something and you really don't understand what goes on in politics. This has nothing to do with helping a community out. You know what I mean? This has everything to do with giving poor people jobs. And no. This has everything to do with green emissions. This have everything to do with emissions. This has everything to do with better. And by us becoming more greener, they're saying that jobs will open up. They're not saying that they're opening up. They're doing this to open up jobs, though. And that is the misclaim of that bill. I want to get that out there for African Americans. Now, I want to tell y'all why do I don't I stand on the bill. I respect the hell out of the bill for being a bill that is very stand upish. This bill is very like bold. Like it's like, yo, listen, this is what we want. This I know it's gonna cost a lot of money, but AOC, I respect her for that. You know what I mean? I respect Alexandria for that. I respect her for always being able to uh to go far. You know what I mean? And listen, you know what I mean? A lot of Democrats are saying that they're going to run with this bill. This now, I'm telling Democrats, when you go into a presidential race and you're talking about a bill like this, a lot of people from the South, and just like I keep telling people, it's not about where you live at. It's about America. So a lot of people from the South is not going to be for this bill because it's talk about coal, getting rid of coal. It's talk about getting rid of emissions. It talks about a lot of the ways that they survived at a younger at a older generation. A lot of the older generation, the way they survive, they're not going to really be for this. And then they pass this down to their kids, the mentality of thinking. And the only way they think that we can live off of is gasoline, uh, slaughtering cows, eating pigs. That's the only thing that they think that we can live off of because they're living in the South. It's a whole different mindset and understanding in the actual South. So when you throw these bills out for people like us that's in the city, it sounds very great. This bill sounds very great because we understand the issues of what's going on. We understand a lot of issues of what's going on. Not saying that people from the South don't understand the issues, but the people from the South, you are directly hurting their money with these type of bills. Big big businesses, you're definitely hurting their money when you talk about getting rid of so much oil. And I know that we say America can do it. America can get rid of this oil and we can go a different route and we can do, but that's making new billionaires. New that's something they don't want to do. The rich want to stay rich. They don't want to create other people rich. I don't I don't see a Democrat winning with opposing this bill. There's no way to pay for this. Nobody is going to vote for this bill, even if a Democrat wins. He might can say that he likes the bill. He might take things from the bill, but this entire bill is never going to be placed out there. I apologize for AOC if she believes this, but it's never going to be placed out there. Another thing that I feel as though that was unprofessional, and I'm telling you, I'm coming at her for this one, is that AOC, when you place a bill out, make sure that it's edited. And I'm the worst speller in the world, man. I spelled my name wrong. I'm the worst speller in the world. I got the worst grammar, everything. I put apostrophe for how anything. I just like, you get apostrophe, you get apostrophe, you get apostrophe. I throw it up. You know what I mean? I throw it up. But when you put out this type of information and you going up against Republicans, when you say stuff like, let's read it. When you actually, and this is what I'm saying. When you put up a bill and this bill is this bold, this bill is bold. It's bold as hell. And when you say stuff like people that's unwilling to work will still get paid. And that wasn't the right. Now I'm not gonna hold you to that. You didn't mean to put that inside the finished copy. Actually, somebody went on Cortez and said it was a fake version. Cortez, a miss. Yeah, her people was trying to say that it was a fake version of the bill. So I remember I was watching a Tucker Carlson bit, and it was he had somebody else on there for AOC, and the guy was saying, "Yo, no, that version that you're talking about, where it says Alexandria Cortez admits that he's falsely claimed Green Deal didn't promise security for those who was unwilling to work." So Alexander AOC says that those that was unwilling to work, that part was not supposed to be in the bill. It's a lot of parts that's not supposed to actually be in the bill. I kind of want to read it to y'all. So, advertiser said on Fox that the line was from a doctor document, and that's the one I watched on Fox. Where he was like, "Where are you getting this information from? This is from a doctor. This document." See, what happened was Tucker Carlson. If y'all watch Fox News, he was interviewing somebody that was from AOC camp, and he told them, y'all plan on paying people that's unwilling to work, and the guy said, "That's that's not." That's not inside the document. That's not inside the document. And Tucker Carlson said that actually came from your website. That came from your website. That's not inside the document. That's not. They had to come out and apologize because it was actually on the website of a wrong version. And I'm not gonna really hold it to this, but it's like you dropped the ball. And I know that she knows that she dropped the ball because when you have that type of platform and you're unrolling this bill and you accidentally put something inside there like this that's already looking like a socialist bill, and now you're telling people that wasn't. I had to tell everybody, a lot of people today, that wasn't supposed to be put in there. And they're like, "Oh man, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That was supposed to be put in there. I don't want to hear that." And now people just got this stuff because one thing that Donald Trump does is that he manipulates the hell out of people. So he's able to manipulate a lot of people. So he's able to make something that might be an accident. He's able to run with it and just make it as bigger than what you ever will possibly think. But he has a right to do this at this point, especially when you put out a wrong version of a copy. You know what I mean? You can't make simple mistakes like that. I know everybody's Isaiah, it's a simple mistake. It's a simple mistake. Oh man, you tripping, but you really can't. You really can't make simple mistakes like that. You really can't. Uh, hold on, give me 2 seconds, you guys. I'm dreaming. The song been stuck in my head. It's just to know that. So that's my position on this bill. It's not, remember, it's a bill about carbon emissions. It's a bill about what they're taking away. It's a bill about not what they're taking away. It's a bill about us becoming more green. Because I don't know if y'all heard about the reports of polar bears being found in inland of Russia, and because it's so much of the ice that's drying up. Man, we got ice that we see that's melting from the bottom end that's as big as the Empire State Building. We got cracks in Ghana. I know a lot of people don't believe in global warming. It's sad because a lot of people just believe that we live in America, so they don't check news from South America. They don't check news from and people in South America is dying by the boatloads of cancer. They don't check news from South America and Africa and France and Germany and Russia and China and North Korea, Japan and Japan and South Korea. They don't check news about that, especially weather. They only check about business and trade. So they don't believe that these type of things exist. And hey, whatever they want to believe, man, because now we're living in an age where it's alternative facts. So everybody has a fact, or everybody says that they don't believe this fact and that fact. I mean, you got Vice News coming out here and got facts about it, and you got this. And I read government reports. It's so hard to read government reports now because we already know the government been saying from a long time ago is now what the president of the United States is saying to a different scale, that everything is a so-called bigger than what it is. Everything is in a sort of a way of a conspiracy. You know what I mean? The Roger Stone incident. Why was CNN there before this and that? It's just like we don't know what's real and what's not no more. So it's hard for us to actually check this person facts, check this person facts, check. I, you know, the the first thing that when I opened up the bill, the first thing that I seen was clean and renewable electric by 2035. I was on that. I want clean and renewable electric. Certain things like this, I want. I want these type of things. It will attack solar, wind, hydro, uh, renewable natural gas, all this biomass, all these type of things, and biomass. Actual biomass is actually pretty cool of us burning like fertilizer and using that to help us and certain stuff like that. So it was scrolling back on a lot of things that we was doing, and I mean, like, it was taken back off of us being able to fly everywhere by having faster trains. Not saying that we wasn't going to. It's funny. And in China, they use trains to get everywhere. They get from city to city on trains. You know what I mean? That expands the workplaces. You know, it takes time for us to get on the airplane. You know what I mean? You gotta do this and do that, and then the airplane is not as fast as a high speed train will be. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about we'll be able to. It will be realistic for me to be living in Philly and be able to go to the Washington in 30 minutes. Be able to go to California in 3 hours or 4 hours. It would be realistic for these type of things to take place with high speed trains. You know what I mean? For actually to help us. And I don't know if them numbers is right with hours or whatever, but I just know that it will cut down a whole lot of travel time with jobs, and it will expand the work area. Whereas though you could work farther if it was better. Look at the how much it is for you get paid in New York, right? So if you was in a major that had money in New York, right? Now you can go to New York because a train ride to New York is like 2 hours, an hour and a half. Just imagine if a train ride to New York was 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Now you can work in New York, and that could be a realistic area. Whereas though, even if you wanted to get a type of oh man, I gotta make ends meet. Let me get a little job in New York, a little something like this, or they got jobs here, or I could go shopping, or I could go. It just opens up a bigger market. And if you live in somewhere in the South and jobs is low in the South, and you want to go, you want to go to a next city over to go because they jobs is better. This is what high speed trains and all this type of stuff open up. This is not nothing new. That's what they do in China. You know what I mean? That's what I see that is good with this, with certain things in this bill. I mean, I respect the hell out of AOC, and I respect the green bill. I respect the initiative in the green bill. I don't think that it's going to work because nobody is going to be willing to pay for this. The first one was 30 trillion. Now this is almost $100 trillion to 75 to $100 trillion. Uh, the Democratic Party is banning Donald Trump for $5.1 billion for a wall. You would have to have a house full of Democrats. How bold America is becoming, that's never going to happen. Not right now. How much people are locked into this thing, that's never going to happen. For certain places in the South and West, certain places to become blue states. I think actually, if a lot of people adopt this deal, we will see more states become red states, just because they don't want to pay for this. They're looking around at what Donald Trump is doing and saying, I would rather be. I actually had a conversation with somebody about Russia, and they said, well, what's so bad about us aligning ourselves with Russia? And I was like, wow, now this is really a conversation. That now, what's so bad with us aligning with Russia is really a conversation, because now we might know that he has something to do with Russia. And I'm not going to talk about that in this segment. I'm going to talk about the green deal. But it's just like, that is what we're dealing with now. So I'm very just to see where this bill go. I think that it will stay right here on everybody's desks and computers, and I think that a lot of Democrats will say that they're going to take this bill, but they're not going to really go for this. It's not going to be able to pass on number levels. Now, I believe that things that was in this bill in 2025, if it's not done, we will look back and say, this was our point. This is when we were supposed to turn it around. I think that there will be a ha moment in 2035 if things is down up, because a lot of ways that America has been running and want to continue to run, like how Russia is running, is not smart. We have a emission problem. We have a global warming problem. We have that problem, but nobody wants to talk about it. And I get it. I get it. We it's something new. It's something weird to people. Everybody's, because it's the concept of God. God has my back. It's nothing gonna happen. Y'all guys are fear mongers. When it's like, if I drove in a car all day and didn't put gas on it, I don't care if God loved me or not. This car is gonna break down. But they don't get it like that. They don't understand it like that. They look at it like this unit this the earth that we live in is not a spaceship that you gotta put gas in it. They don't look at it like that, even though we are moving. They don't look at it like that because the Bible tell them that God has their back. And if anybody talk about destruction of the world does not have God, then that's what the Republicans stand on. You know what I mean? And I look at it as like, this is why a lot of people that's coming out, that's young guys and young people, that this is why they're going to actually get into politics, because this is not, people don't like what Republicans is standing on with this God concept, and they're hardcore with God. Look what they're doing with abortions. You know what I mean? They don't want to have the concept of Planned Parenthood. You know what I mean? Because they don't understand. A lot of these people that's Republicans don't understand what it's like to be poor. You know what I mean? They don't know. They don't understand certain issues that goes on in the everyday life of having 3 kids. Everybody wear hand me downs and share. A lot of these Republicans don't think like that. You know what I mean? They have a lot of money. They're for the top 1%. I'm only thing I'm hearing is that I'm hearing from people as poor as me, we can't tax the rich. And I'm thinking to myself, now the rich tax your ass every single day. The rich literally taxes you every single day. The rich makes your reality, form your reality. The rich will, you know what the rich will do? No, the rich will do? The rich design a piece of chicken that's not really a piece of chicken. It's a clone of a chicken that can last longer so you can cook it at any moment, and so they don't have to buy fresh meat every single day and it won't go bad for the restaurants, and you go inside these things and you eat these things every day. That's what the rich do. The rich don't care nothing about you. So when people say you can't tax the rich to somebody that's poor, we don't care nothing about the rich because the rich don't care nothing about us. And a lot of people, you will understand that you would never be that top 1%, baby. So why the hell are you speaking for rich? It's not impossible for everybody to be rich. Not even impossible for everybody to hit middle class. That's impossible. They don't want that to happen. It's always going to be a poor middle class, and it will be no middle class before it will be no poor. So when people tell me about what they don't want the rich to do, or they don't want to see what they don't want to see happen to the rich, it's crazy. You cannot. How are you protecting the rich? How are you protecting them? They don't protect you. They don't care about you. They sell you whatever to make a buck. They will literally sell you whatever to make a dollar. The rich. This is what the rich that you keep saying that you don't want to tax the hell out of. What they're gonna get? Less rich. What they're gonna get? Less. Seriously, they're gonna become less rich by this whole event when you don't tax them. It makes no sense. I'm for taxing the hell out of the rich. Tax the. Oh man, I don't want to say that word. Tax them. They will never know how it is to be poor. Oh, you can't say that. That don't matter. Oh, that don't matter. They work hard for that. They work hard for it. No, no. Wherever somebody became a billionaire, you had help. You had help. You brought you brought stock and you sold stock, and that's how you became a billionaire. Okay, who was working at those stock shares that you was buying, you was selling? People, poor people. McDonald's. Who was working at McDonald's when you was buying McDonald's stock? Who was working at Nike when you was buying Nike? Who was creating TikTok when you was buying TikTok stock? Who was on there popping? Poor people. You make your money off of people that makes 33 and under. This is what the top 1% make their money off of. The rich make their money off of people that make 33,000 and under. Families that bring in 45,000 in one household. That's what the top 1% make their money off of poor people. So when you ask a poor person, and believe me, it's more poor people in this world, and this is what gets mad when I talk to people from the South. I try to get them to agree with the poor African Americans in the city, and try to tell them what they tell us about you might be false, and what they tell you about us is false. They just want to make a narrative around that it's some type of difference between poor. No. It's the same difference with poor. Poor people is poor people. And if we stand together as poor people, not black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, if we stand together as poor people and tell them, yo, listen, we want the rich to be the fuck taxed. I'm sorry for cussing, but we want the rich to be taxed. And stand together as poor people. We don't need a Green Deal crazy bill to say that we want the rich to be taxed. Now, we do need a Green Deal for emissions and stuff. I agree with that. I agree with that, but we don't need a deal that's going to cost us $30 trillion. I believe that we could just cut down on certain things. But the UN said that we got 15 years to make everything right. And I don't believe that Republicans even care. I don't even think that they take global warming seriously because of their relationship with God. And hey, I get it. But I'm telling you, in the long run, if you don't wisen up, this will hurt us. So where I stand at on this bill is I stand right in the middle, like kind of how I always stand. You know what I mean? I point out the truth on both sides of it. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up nobody's ass. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you, oh man, just because I like Democrats, oh, this bill makes 100% chance for the Democrat. No. Whoever's running for president, do not agree with this bill, and I see almost all of them did it, and it's suicide. But I'm gonna tell the Republicans, are you crazy? We're not taking global warming seriously. Are you crazy? We're not seeing the writings on the wall in so many places. Are you crazy? So this is a issue, man, where our government has to pull this thing together. They have to figure out what they're gonna do. We put the ball in their court. They got to play ball now. We done enough. We pay our taxes, go to work every day. It's time for the government, the guys that get dressed up in suits and ties to go to work every day, to push papers and pens that fucks with our reality, that mess with our reality. It's time for them to do their job and fix this. Fix our debt with the federal government. Fix this global warming issue. Fix it. Isaiah Tilson, First Amendment News. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.